I have a YouTube channel with over 7.4 million subscribers, and I made the genius decision to walk away to pursue a career as a professional amateur golfer. But you're most likely wondering what happened that caused me to walk away from millions of subscribers for golf, when for most of my adult life, I didn't think golf was a real sport played by rich, judgmental, snobby, unathletic bums. I wish I could say it was a dream of mine as a kid to pursue a golf career, but it wasn't. And the reason I left Team Edge was because of a huge falling out, fighting, and just overall just didn't want to be around the guys anymore. No, it was my past failures and lack of knowledge that set me on a path that brought me to this channel. My long-term goal is to break 80, but first I need to break 90. And that's what I'm going to be attempting today. Which, now you're probably confused. He left a massive channel when, according to Google, he's just an average golfer? In my defense, only 75% of golfers will ever break 90. So technically, I'm in the majority, and most of you watching this, you're just like me, a mediocre to sucky golfer. I'll get into all the juicy details on how I went from looking down on golfers and the whole golf community to quitting my traditional full-time job for a YouTube career, then leaving it all for golf. But today, Coach Sam has set my first goal on my road to breaking 90. Breaking 45 through 9 holes. For those who don't know Sam, he's a former pro golfer, instructor, business owner, and a member of Experior Golf. So for this attempt, we're here at the Oaks Club of Valencia, and we're starting off on this par 4, 324 yards. But to understand how I got to this point, we have to go back to when I thought golf was just a dumb, unathletic, reckless, useless of a time sport. In early 2015, I was married, had 2 daughters, and I was working at a high-end private gym catering to CEOs, business owners, pro athletes, celebrities, and a lot of my clients were avid golfers and members of exclusive clubs like Riviera, Sherwood Country Club, which, side note, I got offered to play multiple times, and I turned it down multiple times because I didn't really care about golf. Eventually, I did play Sherwood Country Club, and it was probably one of the nicest clubhouses I've ever been to. And it's also where I embarrassed myself in front of hockey's greatest player. And I'll explain how that all went down in a little bit. All right, camera wasn't rolling for my 3rd shot, but I'm laying 3. Got an opportunity for a par. It's a long putt, but let's see what we can do. Like I was saying, I thought golf was a dumb sport. But knowing golf as a primary sport my clients played, I saw this as a good opportunity to grow my clientele base by specializing in golf strength and conditioning. So I started reading and watching more golf content on YouTube, trying to soak up and learn as much as I could regarding biomechanics, injury prevention, and general golf knowledge, so I didn't sound like a complete doofus when I was talking to these guys. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, bogey to start off. I'll take it.
I double eagled. Hole in one on the par 4. So just FYI.
For those of you that are new to this channel, this is Mark. He is an Experior Golf member, but most importantly, he's probably one of the biggest reasons this channel was launched. But we'll get into that later. Now here's a fact that not even Mark or Sam know about. I eventually flew all the way to Chicago to get certified as a Titleist Performance Certified Fitness Coach. So I guess according to Titleist, I am qualified to be giving expert advice to anybody out there that's trying to win any major championship. Hole number 2, we have a par 4, 375 yards. With the cert, my client list grew, which was great, but was always awkward when they found out I didn't play or even own a set of clubs. Remember, at this point, golf was a lame sport.
Solid shot, dude. That was good, dude.
But something was starting to change. With all the golf content I was watching and the conversations with my clients, my interest was starting to grow. It was starting to sound like a fun sport to do. But I did worry if I stunk at it, I would lose credibility with my clients, so I wasn't in any rush to spend money or time. The response from my clients when they found out I didn't own a set or really play was not what I had expected. They would offer me their old sets just to help me get started. But unfortunately, because I'm part of a minority group, I had to say no. I'm part of the 10% of golfers worldwide, baby, that are lefties. I'm sure if I cared more about golf at the time, I would have bought a set. It wasn't really in my budget at the time, especially with a young family and bills to pay. It just wasn't right for me.
That focus. Look at the focus on that.
I'm playing cool, you know, like I've been here before.
Yeah.
Just another Wednesday on a Tuesday.
The problem is you've never been there before. It's the middle of the fairway, so.
You see, hey, you see the encouragement that I get from this guy?
Just saying, you know, it's like you're right. You're right. You just gotta act like you've been there before, because you know you've never been in the middle of the fairway.
If you don't know Mark, he is one of the biggest smack talkers I know. And to be honest, he's also one of the most encouraging people I know. And our relationship, we're like brothers, so it's back and forth. So even as my interest in golf started to peak, I just didn't have the budget to buy any gear. This is when Big Bill, my wife's grandfather, stepped in. He really wanted me to get into golf as soon as possible. He'd always tell me business gets done on the course and I need to start playing if I want to make the right connections. And this guy knows business. He created the first camera car for the movie industry, which won him a Technical Academy Award. And he also built the world's fastest car, the Budweiser Rocky Car. And those are just a couple inventions under his name. He was pretty persistent that I started playing that he gave me money to pay for half the cost of clubs. So with that, I decided to go down to Dick's Sporting Goods and buy a complete 12-piece Tommy Armour set that I actually have the original putter to. And this is also around the time when I started thinking about a YouTube career. My brother-in-law Matthias was starting to establish himself on YouTube with a couple of successful channels, creating parodies, sketches, music videos, and challenges. And that's where I actually made my YouTube debut on one of his videos as a background extra. And I'll be honest, my debut was rough. But regardless of that initial struggle, I loved it and I wanted to do more. Growing up, I never really cared too much about what others thought of me, which if you watch Team Edge, that is pretty darn clear. I did not care.
Oh wow, look at this guy. How good is that?
Wow.
But when it came to golf, I cared. Probably because I took way too much pride in my athletic abilities and the fact that I was a golf fitness professional. But watching my brother-in-law acting like a big old goofball online, bringing joy to so many people, really inspired me and planted those seeds that would later get me to start a family vlog channel and then Team Edge. Par. Sam's par.
I'm par bogey.
Par bogey. So this isn't a bad start for me. Bogey par, but I've been here plenty of times, and then towards the end, especially on this course, I like to just, how would you say?
Have you ever seen that where like people are like fake running?
It didn't faze my brother what others thought of his career as a silly YouTuber, but he was following his passion and he was creating content that literally millions of people would watch every month. But I'll be honest, that fear of judgment did make me delay getting into YouTube. But not only that, this fear of judgment also got me to practice in my parents' backyard, hitting foam golf balls against their wall instead of going to the range. I wanted to get better first in private so I didn't feel so judged when I went to the range for the first time. And my first trip to the range was hilarious. I thought you had to reserve a mat. I didn't know where you had to go to get range balls, none of it. But the best part was the experience every lefty has to go through. That awkward eye contact you get with that righty in front of you. You know what I'm saying. And if you're a righty and you've ever hit next to a lefty, you know that exact same feeling. So a piece of advice for anybody getting into golf or a newbie, I definitely recommend reaching out to buddies to go tag along and play with them. Trust me, it's gonna make the whole thing so much better. Okay, back to YouTube. Back in the day, it wasn't very common to pursue a YouTube career. But at this point, my brother was paying all his bills and supporting his family all off of his YouTube income. So unknowingly, my brother-in-law gave me the courage, example, and data I needed to finally make the decision to pursue this career. So with my brother's help, we developed and launched a family vlog channel called The Crazy Crew, where we would document our family adventures, family challenges. We pretty much became semi-daily vloggers. But as we launched this family channel, something else was starting to change.
Nice.
I originally got into golf because of purely business reasons, but I was really starting to enjoy it. I wanted to practice as much as I could. I wanted to hang out with my friends on the course as much as I could. I had caught the bug. And I even found a group of friends to play with, all with different skill levels, and that's what I enjoyed the most, golfing with my buddies. But also at this point, I was still all self-taught. I thought I can learn all I needed from YouTube, and it wouldn't be till years later during the COVID era that I would take my first lesson from this guy, Mark. If I can sink this par putt, that would be huge. That would be par and put me ahead of pace.
Whoa. Did you eat breakfast or?
But now it's time for me to share my Wayne Gretzky encounter. I got another invite from my friend Rick to play Sherwood Country Club, and this time I wasn't saying no. Rick was a solid golfer and he knew I stunk, but he still invited me anyways.
Yeah, you know, there's excuses when I don't do it well. No excuses when Brian doesn't do it well. All right, that's just the rule.
Double! If you didn't know, Sherwood Country Club is an invite-only club with an estimated $225,000 buy-in. My buddy gave me a tour of the clubhouse, which to this day, I don't think I've ever been to a better, more pristine clubhouse. And to my knowledge, the only footage that exists from inside the club or the men's locker room is from a Mr. Short Game clubhouse review. So if you want to see all the amenities and bells and whistles, go check out his video. That double bogey just killed me, but it's okay. I'm still on pace. I'm on track. As long as I can just play bogey golf and par one hole, I break 45. So going back to the clubhouse and locker room tour, as we're wrapping up and we're about to head out, in through the doors comes NHL's greatest hockey player, Wayne Gretzky. And I'm not one to get starstruck or lose my words when I see someone famous. But as we're approaching him, I can remember just getting nervous and my heart rate increasing. And I'm thinking, Brian, he's just another guy. He's just like you. He golfs, I golf. We got so much in common. But when my buddy introduced us and I went to shake his hand, my voice cracked. I'm talking, I just went through puberty cracked. I can definitely tell he was trying to be polite by not laughing, but you can just see it in his face. He was holding it back. Big thanks to Rick for inviting me out there. Not sure if you're going to watch this, but if you do, appreciate it. Miss ya.
I mean, it's safe. You hit that pretty good too, though.
Oh, good.
Just a little left.
Okay, I misframed this shot. I am right over here, right off frame. All right, solid opportunity to get par here and stay on pace. Yee! As you can see by the fist bump, I'm pretty stoked with that chip shot. Okay, enough of the memories. Let's get back to YouTube. So we launched the family channel and we were slowly growing, but I realized that this is not the content that I want to do. So I started to research other possible formats that I can pursue. Whenever my brother or other creators would do a challenge-based idea, it would outperform all the other content that they were posting. I also realized no channels exist that only posted challenge-based content. So with this information, I started to craft my challenge-only channel. But the channel I was formulating needed 2 to 3 dudes at all times for it to work. But at the time, the only people I knew that would consider this as a career option were my 2 brother-in-laws, Matthias and J. Fred. They both really liked the idea and I thought they would both be on board. That was a huge missed opportunity to get ahead of pace, but it's all right. We're still on pace. We're still good. +4 through 4. Matthias was a yes, but J-Fred decided to pass so he can focus on his solo YouTube channel that he had launched around the similar time as my family vlog channel. So for a bit, I thought it was just going to be Matthias and I. Now, eventually we did convince him to say yes, but it is hard to imagine how different Team Edge would have turned out if he would have said no. So with everybody on board, we went to work to figure out all the details, the format, style, responsibilities, colors, and logo for our name. But before we launched, I'll be honest with you, I had no idea what I was getting into. I had no idea to the extent of childish, crazy ideas that we were going to be doing for the next few years. So on September 28th, 2015, we launched Team Edge, and it was an instant success. But this instant success is what I believe would eventually lead to me leaving Team Edge and creating Experior Golf. But I'll explain that part later when COVID comes into the picture and the government shut down our studio.
I think Sam's long drive shaft that he put in there for the World Long Drive Contest is working.
Hey, the last video we played, you guys can check it out, the challenge with me and Brian. This guy was out driving me and I was just so fed up. I was angry.
Just wait up, I haven't even stepped into second gear yet. Just wait.
About 24 hours after we posted our first video, We had over 20,000 subscribers and the video was tracking very well. I do give a lot of credit to Matthias because he used his already existing channel and audience and pushed them to check out Team Edge.
Yeah, that was good. You feel that Grand Canyon divot of yours?
When we started the channel, we began with the simplest ideas. Everything from board games, family games, food challenges. We pretty much turned anything into a challenge. But we were running into a problem. A couple months after the launch, the growth of the channel was being limited by the amount of time we were able to put into it. I still had a full-time job and I was commuting 2+ hours a day. And honestly, this was a great problem to have. And at this point, I knew Team Edge has some very serious potential to be my full-time job. And with that, I set the goal in a year and a half, I'm quitting my job at the gym to go all in on YouTube. But little did I know, Matthias was cooking up a delicious medium rare ribeye of a plan. 6 months after launching Team Edge, Matthias was also looking to grow his original YouTube channel and hire some help. So his proposal to me was simple. He would hire me part-time to work with his channel and the rest of my time would go into our channel, Team Edge.
That was good, Sam.
A little chunky.
Really?
A little chunky.
You are looking like you're overweight. There's me, closest to 10, of course, because I'm good. I'm the best, number one.
At the time of the proposal, if I combined my Team Edge and part-time job income, I would be taking a slight pay cut from my gym job. But that also meant leaving a stable job, going into an unknown industry where I had no experience. I had a family of 4 depending on me, and the fear of failure and judgment were all things running through my mind. But there were so many upsides to consider.
Wow.
Look at this.
Wow.
That's a toughie.
That's a toughie.
That's a toughie.
No more 2-hour commutes, more time with the family, much higher earnings potential, and the cherry on top, I'd have more time to golf because at this point with the Team Edge, the family vlog channel, and my full-time job, I had to cut golf out of the picture. I mean, I was still playing, but just very limited amounts. It honestly didn't take me long to decide. I just had to convince my wife that this was the way. And with her support, we agreed I'd quit my job and go all in on YouTube. Looking back, I wish I could say that I sought out wise counsel or prayed over this decision that I had to make. But back then I wasn't really strong in my faith or in my walk with the Lord, but by God's amazing grace, it turned out to be a great decision. So then going full-time into YouTube, the channel continued to grow at a very rapid pace. And it wasn't because of our amazing business skills or our great leadership skills. We were just very fortunate and blessed to have entered a category with very little competition, and we were essentially first to market. But with that success early on, it created this false sense of security. I thought we had it all figured out and we were set. I don't know why, but I was leaving my putts short all day and got another bogey, still on track. As long as no doubles come up, we're good. I didn't understand that we needed to have a clear vision for our company, something that would guide us for the long term through the ups and the downs of the business. I thought that if we just kept doing what we were doing now, we would be a successful business for the long term.
Bogey.
Bogey? Oh,
I just missed that.
We have hole number 6. It is a par 5, 512 yards with a nasty bunker right in the middle of the fairway. We're currently at +5 through 5. Things are looking good. I'm on pace. Let's go, baby. So even though we didn't set any long-term company vision, we did, however, set some short-term goals that would really drive us for those first few years.
Wow, that was money. I liked how you hit that.
It's gotta look
Very good, dude.
That was money.
That was good.
Hey, when your coach says that looks good, you take it. I don't know what else I was gonna say.
I don't lie either. I'm not gonna just make Brian feel good to feel good.
All right, this time I think Sam got me on this one.
I actually didn't hit that one good.
Yeah, but you got me on this one.
You sure?
Yeah, mine was a little bit too high.
Mark, I got you on the
Too
last
springy.
one too. What are you talking about?
That's all good. It's all good. Hey, you're supposed to. I'm 25 years older.
What am I? I'm on track right now.
You are. You're, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're in the, yeah, you're actually bogeying almost every hole.
I'm on track.
Yep, you're on track.
When we first started the channel, our initial goal was to one day get a huge warehouse where we can do whatever we wanted. And over time, we kept increasing our film space from Matthias's apartment living room to his garage and backyard to a small warehouse, then to a slightly bigger warehouse, and then finally to our dream studio, 12,000 square feet of recording freedom. During this time of expansion, we got to work on some exciting projects like throwing out the first pitch in a World Series game. If you look back at our catalog of videos, you'll see all kinds of sports: basketball, football, soccer, volleyball, everything but golf. So getting golf-based ideas approved by the rest of the team was not easy.
That's solid too. Not bad. Look at this guy, he's happy. He's happy.
Play cool. I've been here before.
Yeah, you have been. I could say you've been in there before.
And honestly, it was a huge bummer because at this point I was really into golf and I really wanted to create some golf content. Now, I'll admit some of the ideas I did pitch probably didn't fit the Team Edge style, but I still wanted to figure out a way to bring golf into Team Edge.
Ooh, he looks good on that one. Hey, he likes it. He likes that. He likes that. He's feeling it. You guys feeling it. I'm feeling it too.
Now, I did sneak a little golf into one of our boat building battles where I put a driving range on my boat. So with this constant rejection of my just absolute mind-blowingly amazing golf ideas, I started to wonder what a golf YouTube channel would look like for me. But as I seriously contemplated starting a golf channel, the fear of man came and I kept misjudging how wide I actually needed to get, but Sam and I are just to the right of the frame. And this is Sam's shot, not mine.
Oh, nice. This is what I learned from Sammy right here. Oh no, it didn't. Never mind.
Not only does no one want to watch some mediocre golfer, but do I really want the world to see how bad I am at golf? Because I know, and you all know, the comment sections can be brutal. Okay, I'm just to the right side of the frame for my third shot. Got to get on the green to get that par, baby. Ooh. So after letting that fear just sink in, I decided it's not something I wanted to do or should do. I should just stick to Team Edge and do what I'm good at. But as Team Edge continued to produce all kinds of sports-based videos like volleyball, parkour, skee ball, heck, we even did a Scottish strongman challenge. We were doing everything but golf. And this made letting go of this golf channel idea really difficult to let go. But there was a pivotal moment that gave me the kick between the legs that I needed to finally make me decide to just do it. I had finally started taking lessons from a PGA teaching professional, some big cat Filipino dude named Mark. Going into my first lesson, I thought he was going to be some judgmental, snobby instructor that can care less if I improved. If you've ever played organized sports, you probably remember that one coach who truly cared. And for me, when it came to golf, that was Mark. That double bogey hurt, but we're still good. We're +7 through 6. Definitely can't afford another double, but if I can get a par and one birdie, we are looking solid. During one of our lessons, I mentioned that I was thinking about starting a golf YouTube channel and not just a regular teaching product review channel. Something for everybody, something that everybody can relate to. More on the entertainment side, where it doesn't matter if you're a high handicapper like me or a professional like Mark or Sam. I honestly thought he was gonna laugh at that idea. He actually really liked the idea. He liked the idea so much that he said we can film at his course whenever we needed to, and he'd be more than happy to be in the videos with us too. But Mark's journey to this point was significantly different than mine.
Oh, wow. It's only going to be like 40 behind me. Mark outdrove me last week on this hole.
Growing up, his dad taught him how to golf. And going into high school, he wanted to play football and wrestle, but his mommy said no. They were afraid he would get hurt or paralyzed, so his parents wouldn't sign the permission slip. So this left him with golf. And like every high school athlete, your dream is to play professionally. And after high school, he did play collegiately, but wasn't able to make it on tour. And even though he never made it to the tour, he still wanted a career in the golf industry.
That one was I was just angry at Mark. Like,
I want to do that.
And during his college years, he discovered he loved to teach and share his passion for golf with others. And in his words, there's nothing better than connecting with a student when it clicks for them. But he also loved the business side of golf. He enjoyed the challenge of running and operating a golf course and figuring out ways to improve the customer experience. And in his words again, I love making people happy. Now, as lame as that sounds, I believe him. Just the fact with how he treated me and encouraged me early on.
All right, so we agree. If I'm 9 over by the turn of the 9th hole, you guys are gonna treat me to wings.
wings are on me.
Now, fast forward through all the planning and testing and all that stuff, I eventually landed on the name Experior Golf. Experior is a fancy Latin word that means to attempt, to experience, to find out. But something I just found out while making this video, it's a drug that reduces emissions from beef cattle and their waste.
Hey, Sam! I outdrove Mark too.
Shut up.
And I found this to be perfect for what we were trying to accomplish on the channel, to encourage people to just go out, try out the game, see if you like it, and just have some fun. So with everything in order, we started production on the very first episode.
Oh no! That's what I get for talking smack.
That's right. I'm glad you talked
So I
about
shouldn't do it.
karma.
But as I got ready to post the very first episode, the nerves really started to kick in. Do people really want to see mediocre golf? Will this idea resonate with golfers around the world? All these things and fears were running through my mind before I published episode 1. But this is when Mark comes in and gives me another kick between the legs that I needed, pretty much telling me to stop worrying about what everybody else thinks and just post it. So after that beautiful speech of encouragement, I released episode 1. But after releasing the video, I told myself I would give it 24 hours before I come to any conclusion. And I wasn't hoping for instant viral success. 24 hours after posting episode 1, the results were in and they were positive. I think the best part were the comments that were coming in. There were some negative ones too, but those were kind of funny and they weren't wrong. When the channel first launched, Mark was a guest and a supporter of what I was doing on Experior Golf, but later on he would become the second official member of the group. And the third member of the group was this guy, Kevin, who was a close friend and who also encouraged me and was a supporter of the channel very early on. And I'll give you a formal intro to Kevin in a little bit. Going into 2020, the golf channel was growing, Team Edge was holding steady, but one thing was coming that we did not expect: COVID. And when COVID came around, it would completely change Team Edge, and it would also affect Experior Golf. In good old sunny California, they were forcing non-essential businesses to close down temporarily, and Team Edge fell into that category. But closing down the studio meant we couldn't record the same type of content, and we also couldn't use our 10-person team that we had. With the limited space and resources, we had to make our first major pivot for Team Edge. And in our little brains, we thought this would be a great chance to film some old school Team Edge videos, like when we first started. What we had dubbed as the lockdown content performed terribly. For years, we had been ramping up our production capacity to take on these big projects. So when we decided to go old school, we essentially downgraded our content and it was not received well. But it's not that our audience was negative or anything. It just wasn't the content they had subscribed to or were used to getting from us. It would have been so much better for us to not post anything during the lockdowns. But during the lockdown period, we lost a sizable chunk of our audience to other creators that didn't make drastic, ill-informed content decisions. And there were more channels around producing similar content to ours, and they were just as good, if not better. I don't know why I keep leaving all my putts so short, and it makes it so hard to recover and at least get a bogey. Let's see. Aye. All right, double.
Okay, so that double bogey was not ideal, so that means I got to go par or bogey birdie or birdie par or that's it.
Or, so you got to go, you're already at 9.
I have to end, the goal is to end at 9. Over.
Got it.
Not only were Mark and I dealing with shutdowns and closures to our courses and studio, but Kevin, our third member, who is a Hollywood stuntman and stunt coordinator, was also having to deal with the TV and film industry going through some crazy phase as well. It left very little time for Mark, Kevin, and I to film golf content on a consistent schedule. When we were finally able to open the studio back up, I thought everything would go back to normal, how things were before the lockdowns, and we would be swimming in those views again. When we resumed uploading our regular videos, they weren't performing as usual. So with that, we decided that we would fix our problem with a simple plan: spend more money. We were going to build bigger and crazier sets to bring our viewers back. And I thought bigger is better. But in the words of Simon Sinek, bigger doesn't mean better, but better is how we get bigger. Ooh, that hits. I wish I would have heard that years ago. And for all you content creators out there, remember that one. Now, if we would have had some kind of long-term plan or vision in place, we definitely wouldn't have made those choices through the lockdown periods. Now, clearly throwing more money at our issue wasn't solving our problem, But not all videos were bad. We did have some heavy hitters. But also around this time, I was starting to doubt if this golf channel was something that I should be doing. Now, some of those comments that I've been reading were starting to affect me, and I was really starting to question if I should be doing this golf channel. But as this fear was starting to creep back in, Mark and I were invited to TPC Hardin Park the week leading into the PGA Championship. It was such a confidence booster knowing that these PGA professionals invited this mediocre group of golfers to play their course before a major. Shout out to you, Tom and John. Thanks for having us out there and filming with us. Things were starting to really look up for the golf channel. But right when we were starting to hit a nice solid groove with the channel, we got some news that was both good and bad. Mark decided after 15 years of working in the same place, it was time for him to move on and try something else. And this is good news for Mark, but not so great for the golf channel. From the very beginning of the golf channel, Mark, Kevin, and I all had agreed that golf couldn't take a priority over our main jobs. And Experior Golf at the time was a passion project that we all cared about, but it just wasn't paying our bills.
Ooh, linen short pants.
These
Are they breathable?
they're breathable.
It's like a burlap sack that we used to
My
put.
butt's not sweaty.
Isn't that
so-
what
Interesting.
isn't that what sack of potatoes come in?
You know what?
Burlap?
This is what I'm doing for Mark right now. This is cool. What's going on?
So then with Mark transitioning into his new job, we decided to scale back on golf production so he can focus on getting acclimated and adjusted to his new job. Okay, so I'm just gonna fast forward through some more mediocre times and get right to the juicy stuff.
Oh, I hit that so bad. I tried that so hard.
Uh-oh.
At Team Edge, it finally hit our stubborn, uneducated minds that we should develop a vision, a long-term plan. Our initial success really made me think that we didn't need one of those and that I had it all figured out. Creating a vision that's supposed to guide our company for the next 5 to 20 years was a daunting task. I'm not gonna bore you with all the details, but eventually we got it done. And we were so stoked with what we had came up with. I thought this is gonna be the solution to all our problems.
Then
Oh, I did it!
He called it.
Oh no!
He called it.
Here's a simple version of the new Team Edge vision. We called our new concept the Edge Games. This was going to be a challenge league, something that wasn't on YouTube. And similar to, let's say, the NBA or NFL, there would be multiple teams competing in a set amount of challenges over a period of time and end with one team winning the overall championship. A couple of big parts of this plan was to eventually launch multiple new channels for each of the teams that we had, and also was to buy a huge plot of land where we can build our own filming studio ranch and house all our operations to give us way more space to go yaya with our ideas.
I mean, we're all buddies.
Oh no, you didn't outdrive me.
Yeah, maybe.
No, there's no maybe. You're there, I'm there.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Hey.
But our vision had a couple major flaws, and I'll explain in a little bit. With our vision in place, we launched season 1 of the Edge Games, and I thought this was gonna turn things around for us, and we were gonna be back on top of the charts, baby. Up to this point, winning every challenge wasn't our ultimate goal. We just wanted to bring joy and laughter to as many people as we could. And it was very common in our videos to lie and cheat our way to victory. I mean, we had some pretty ridiculous sayings like, it's not cheating, it's creative problem solving. So by making every challenge win an important component to our new league, we lost the friendly banter and the camaraderie that people really liked about our channel. The channel stayed steady, but still not pre-COVID levels. By the end of season 1, we had felt something wasn't right, and it was pretty clear that we were taking each video way too serious. The videos just weren't as fun and friendly.
I think I outdrove Sam. By the way, I outdrove Sam still.
So we decided for season 2 that we would tone down the competitive nature of our videos and try not to take the challenges too serious. But this actually sent mixed signals to our audience because it blurred the overall goal of the channel. The audience was either annoyed that we were taking the challenges too seriously, or they didn't like that we weren't taking them seriously enough. And I can't blame them.
Okay.
We advertised this challenge league where every video mattered, but we weren't always taking them seriously. So when we hit the midway point through season 2 and the numbers still weren't great, we knew we had to make a decision. Do we continue down this path and hope things turn around? Or do we completely pivot away from our concept of the Edge Games? So we decided to end the Edge Games, completely pivot away from this whole Challenge League concept, pretty much throwing out a big chunk of this vision that we had developed. When we announced we were moving away from this Challenge League concept and going back to more traditional Team Edge, it was met with overall support and excitement. But what really made it clear that we made the right call was in our very first video after this announcement. It was our best performing video since we launched season 1 of the Edge Games. As Team Edge was going through this roller coaster of a time, EXP Golf was able to get back to a semi-regular posting schedule, and we were starting to gain some momentum. But then Mark got a new job. This time he would be leaving the course to take a job with Callaway. And in his words, it was the best day ever. But not only that, Kevin made the decision to step away from EXP Golf to focus on his stunt career and his family. The TV and film industry during this time was also dealing with just all the craziness and all the crazy COVID hurdles, and still wasn't back to pre-COVID normal. And with EXP Golf going in and out of filming and the unpredictability of it all, it was the right move for him. So with Mark adjusting to his new job and Kevin leaving, we had to scale back EXP Golf filming. But with all the changes that were going on with Experior Golf, I was really starting to wonder if this is something that I should keep doing, or if this is even something people want to be a part of. So with Kevin gone, I started to look who could potentially replace him, and the person I was least expecting to join us said yes. A friend and frequent guest on EXP Golf agreed to join the team and be the third official member. And getting Sam to join was a pretty big deal. Now for background, he turned pro at 20, and during his pro career, he won 7 events as well as the One Asia Q School. Sam would eventually leave pro golf during an injury to teach and start his own brand, Story Golf, a sunsleeve company for golfers and outdoor enthusiasts. And you've probably seen players and caddies on the PGA Tour and Live Tour rocking them on the course. Sam joining the team was a huge confidence booster for me. The fact that this pro golfer joined up with me, a high handicap amateur. Rolling into 2023 and the ending of the Edge Games concept on Team Edge, we had to make some adjustments to our vision. This time we decided to focus on producing more story-driven concepts, posting less frequency in order to level up the quality of our content. And by this point in 2023, we had been doing Team Edge for 8 years now, and we had all grown older, our families had grown, and we were also wanting our content to mature a little bit more with us, which put us in this position of trying new content, but keep old elements in place. The content that we knew could perform well on the channel was not necessarily content we wanted to continue making. And by this point, my desire to pursue golf had really been growing. Every time I had to step back from Experior Golf to put more of a focus on Team Edge really made it clear that I had a growing passion to create golf content. It was starting to come down to the ideas that we really enjoyed filming were not the ideas that were performing well. Okay, I realized I should have brought the camera a lot closer, but if I can make this par putt, that would be huge. If I miss it, that means I need to birdie the 9th hole. All right, that was a huge missed opportunity, but I still have one final chance. But late in 2023, Jayford got sick, and during his time at home, it gave him a chance to step back and evaluate Team Edge and our whole situation. Before he came back to the office, he wanted to chat and discuss Team Edge. He wanted to know how I would feel about moving on from Team Edge.
Okay, the bogey's not what we needed, but it's okay. It's okay. Gotta birdie this one.
Not only was I growing in my passion to pursue golf, he was also growing in his desire to start a new channel based on building. This is it, hole number 9, 180-yard par 3. We got some water to the left side, and I am notorious for that slice that just likes to nuzzle itself into that water. After that initial talk with Jayfred, I started to think about maybe this is the chance for me to go all in on golf content.
Oh no! Wow!
But that fear of knowing that I'm not like every other golf channel out there. I'm not a former pro. I didn't play collegiately. I'm not a scratch golfer. I'm just a regular old dude with a high handicap that loves the game. And will that be enough? But before I can make any decision there, we had to figure out what to do next with Team Edge. It was a difficult meeting because we were discussing the end of what we had been working so hard for the last 8 years. Not only that, we had a team of 10 people our business was supporting. All factors that just made the whole thing very difficult and very emotional. To the shock and surprise of many people around us and on the internet, we shut down. It was a very difficult decision to make, and honestly, not a great feeling to have that I let so many people down, from our staff to our audience, but I was also at peace with it. This wasn't in my original plan, nor did I ever think that this day would come, but it's what God had planned for me. And through all of this, I hope to grow closer to Him.
You need a par this or
No, I need to
bogey?
birdie this
Wait, you're at 10?
because I bogeyed that one, so I'm at 10.
Oh, you need a birdie.
I need a birdie.
Look, I'm gonna help you out because I do want to buy you wings. Because if you birdie it, you deserve it. You need to stick to the right side.
Yeah.
You have no
The
chance.
struggles of trying to keep Team Edge going taught me a lot. And I learned more through the tough times than the easy times. Ultimately, it doesn't matter how bad I want something. God has a plan. I may not always understand it, but I trust in Him.
Oh no!
Hold.
No, it's not gonna make it.
Ah.
That's in the water. That's in the water. That's in... Oh, not exactly
The way
how I
finish.
wanted to end it.
No, but it's okay because
As I was
look,
filming this video, it was such an awesome time to look back at everything that we were able to accomplish. To everyone I worked with at Team Edge and throughout the years, you were all such a blessing, and I am so thankful to have worked with you all. If it wasn't for their hard work and their dedication to their craft, we never would have achieved what we were able to. And one of the best parts of Team Edge was the community. The audience we had was one that I will never forget and I will really miss. And I'm so thankful to any Team Edge fan that is watching this for allowing me and the team to be a part of your childhood. So what does this all mean for Experior Golf? Mark, Sam, and I, we're on a mission to create a community and environment where we can all share and enjoy our passion for golf. And we got some exciting stuff coming and we can't wait to share them all with you. Thank you so much to everybody that's been supporting Experior Golf throughout the years. I am just so excited and thankful to have you a part of this community, and I hope that we can make you guys proud going into the future. Even though I didn't break 45 today, I am still on a mission to break 90, and I can't wait to share with you guys when I finally do.
Even see that juice fall out.
That was good. That was good. How long have we used today, Mark?
Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit more garlic up in this mug.
That's fire. Gotta be healthy.
So, mine